Hi guys. So am I audible? Hello everyone. Good evening. Okay. Good evening, guys. So how was yesterday's session? And I have asked you people to work out the problem Fibonacci series. Have you done it? Have you people completed working on the Fibonacci series problem? And have you worked on some pattern matching problems too? Good, Archana. Come on, guys. How is the Josh for today's session? Are you people eager to learn new things today? Good, Varshika, Mr. Zero V. So come on, guys. So Harsh edits, yeah. May I know your name? Harsh edits. Is your name Harsh? So guys, come on, answer my question. Have you people worked out on the Fibonacci series problem? I have asked you to try it out. Full Josh, ma'am. That's great. You could add some more emojis. So let's wait for a couple of minutes in order to other people to join, and we'll start the session with a methods declaration. And yeah, Bishesh, full Josh, ma'am. Yeah, Harshit. Okay. Vishesh, I don't have a WhatsApp group link. I think you have to confirm with your team. So, guys, so I'll be introducing the topics which we'll be learning today. Yesterday's topic we haven't seen a methods declaration. So, we'll be seeing more on methods declaration. Just we have already done a couple of programs by using methods example. So, just we'll be seeing the syntax and we'll be moving on to Java arrays and strings in Java. And as somebody asked yesterday, we'll also be seeing the exception handling concept, and if time permits, we'll be seeing the interaction to OOPS concept. Otherwise, we'll be covering OOPS concept tomorrow also. Today, we'll be coding. Today we'll be going with much coding parts. Hi, hi. Okay. Bishish, I think you want to. I don't know about that stuff. What's a group link? Okay, guys. So without further delay, let's start the session. So methods declaration. As I have already said, in Java, methods means it's something like function. Okay. So in other programming languages, we'll be calling it as function, whereas in Java, we'll be naming it as method. So yeah, it's a collection of instructions which performs some specific task. Okay, why we are going for function? The same thing which we have learned. It promotes the reusability of the code. Okay, so the best practice whenever you are doing some competitive programming is you should not write all the functionalities of a program or all the important functionalities in a single like a main block. You have to split your code into various methods, and you have to access those methods. Okay. uh yeah, so this is the general syntax of how to declare a method. Here you will be specifying the access specifier. As I have said, we'll be looking more on to access specifier. We do have four types of access specifier in Java: public, private, protected, and default. Okay, so here we have to specify public. Public means whenever we are writing a method as public, it means that the identifiers that has been used in that particular method, or the instance variables that are being used in that particular method, the local variables, or the functionalities which is present inside the method, that method is purely accessible by any part of the program. Okay, and int is the method return type. So if you're going to return some integer value, means you'll be giving the return type as int. Okay, and here some they have given as the method name, and these are the parameters list. So For the methods declaration part, we'll be seeing a simple example. Okay, I think we have already seen much on methods. Okay, so okay, so let me write a method which returns sum of two numbers. Okay, public static, it's not public, also it's not needed. Static int sum. So here we are using static because in online compilers, whenever we are using the method as static only, it will be accessible. Int is the return data type. So in this method, we are going to return some integer value. Okay, the output of this method, or it is going to return some kind of value which is of integer data type, and sum is the function name. I mean model method's name. These are all the parameters. So whenever we are specifying the parameters, we should also specify them with the data type. Okay, so we are going to pass two parameters a and b of integer data type. Now I'm just going to return a plus b. Okay, now in the main function, I'm giving int a is equal to something as 3, b as 5. Now I'm going to, as this function is returning some integer value, I want to store the returned value in an integer variable. So I'm going to store it in result variable. I'm going to print the result. Yeah, so you're getting output as 8 because 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay, not only a method can return an integer data type, it can even return float, boolean, or something like that. Okay, yesterday I think in while programming the prime number sum, we have used a boolean method. I mean a method which returns boolean data type. So are you people understand with how to declare a method in Java? Yeah, Bishesh, you are correct. So the main aim, like why we are specifying static in a method is, if you're not specifying static in a particular method, whenever we are calling that method, we want to create an object to that method. Then only the functionalities will be accessible. Whenever we are giving static, just like that, we can call it by using the function name, and it is not required in order to create a new object. Okay, guys. So this is the basic. This is the basic syntax or structure of how to declare a method. In order, like according to your requirements, you can change the method to whatever way you want. So next is arrays in Java. So I just want to know that, do you people have any idea about list or arrays in some other programming language? I mean, in Python we'll be calling it as list, whereas we'll be calling array in C, C++. Yeah, okay. So you people know what do you mean by array? Array is nothing but we are going to store a group of a group of elements. Okay, a collection of elements of same data type. Okay, Archana, you know C language. Okay, so we are going to store a collection of objects. Okay, so Java array is actually an object which stores a set of elements which will be of same data structure. Okay, for example, if you are taking an integer array, it means that the array contains the values which is of integer data type. Whenever we are taking a string array, which means it's an array of strings. Okay, and one more thing, in terms of how an array is being stored, it is stored in terms of continuous memory locations. For example, let's take, so this is the array. Let's take we are going to maintain yeah, correct, collection of homogeneous data type items. Good, you are correct, guys. Um, so in order to store this array in a memory location, first element, let's say its address is somewhere. Let's say the address of the first element is 1000. Okay. Now the next element, as it is an integer data type, we know that in Java the size of an int data type is 4 bytes. So the next element will be stored in the address 1004. Next will be stored in the address 1008. So it will be incremented by 4 bytes. And also the size of the integer data type, it depends on your compiler. Okay, it could be 2 or it could be 4. This is how an array is being stored when it comes to memory. Okay. Yeah, we store similar data elements, and there are two types of arrays in Java. One is single and multidimensional, which means which is nothing but 2D and 3D arrays. Okay, so are you people fine with uh, do you people have a idea on what is meant by an array? And also, in order to access an element in an array, we usually use indexing. Okay, and the index starts from 0, which means the first element of the array will be holding the index as 0, 1, 2, and respectively. Okay, so the students, yeah, 2D and 3D array is like matrix, but usually a single dimension array will not be coming under matrix. So whenever we are taking 3D, it comes under matrix. So guys, now you have idea on arrays, right? So now we'll be jumping into the coding part. And there are many ways in order to declare a Java array. Okay, I want everybody to code parallelly with me, and if you people have any doubts, you can ask then and there in the chat section. Okay. Okay. So we'll be seeing array declaration. Yeah, Kushi, I'll be explaining 2D arrays. Which ID we use for CodeBAM? It depends on your compatibility. I mean, I used to code using Eclipse for Java. You can also use Eclipse or IntelliJ, but here we are using online compiler. Okay. Array declaration, 2D array declaration. Okay. So now I'm going to create an integer array. Okay. So I'll be giving the data type as integer, the array name. ARR is my array name, and as it is going to store a collection of items, I have to put square brackets. Okay, is equal to, I want to give the size of the array, which means if I want to create an array with size 5, I want to give the size as 5. Now I'm going to create a new array. So new is the keyword in order to create an object. As we have seen, Java array is an object. So new int of 5. Okay, so I have created an array with size 5. Now, in order to mention the values of each element of the array, I'll be giving, either I can give AR of 0 is equal to 1, 1 is equal to 2, ARR of 2 is 3. Similarly, we can give. Okay, so I have given the values for each and every index. Okay, we do have the size as 5, but as I have said, in indexing, the indexing starts from 0 to the size of the array minus 1. So 0 to 5 minus 1, 4 is the size. Okay, now whenever I want to traverse the array, I cannot just like that print system dot out dot println array. It doesn't works. Okay, as it is a collection of elements, I do want to traverse the entire array in order to retrieve or in order to print the elements of that particular array. So here we are going to use for loop. Okay, so for, I think you people are aware of I mean, do you people remember of what's the for syntax? For I is equal to 0, as the index starts from 0, and in order I must be going till the array dot length. Okay, this arr dot length, it will be giving the length of the array, which means it will be giving 5. Okay, so the elements of the array is being printed. In order to show how this is getting executed, I just paint. Yeah, Um, let's say we are going to have array like this, okay? Array of size 5, right? Okay, let's have array of size mm, array of size 7. Okay, so as I have said, the indexing will be 0, 1, 3. So the size of the array is 7, okay? But the indexing for this array, only by terms of indexing only we can access the elements of the array, okay? So it goes from 0 to, let's say we are naming the size of the array as n, 0 to n minus 1, 7 minus 1, okay? So now here what I'm doing is, in this case I'm going to create an array with size 5. So I have created an array with size 5. I have initialized, okay? I'm not when we make array of 5 but we give 6 return array, then what will happen? It will be printing array index of bound, okay? So here I mean I think it's confusing, right? F7. Okay, yeah, it's getting printed. So we are going to declare an array of size 7, so we have declared it. Now we are going to assign the values to each indexing. Now if I'm giving arr of 0 is 1, then in the 0 index 1 will be getting assigned, okay? And next I'm going to give 2, next 3. I'm going to assign values as like this: 5, 6 and 7, okay? Even I can, add the elements, add the values to the list in terms of indexing only, and whenever I try to retrieve the elements from the list I want to use indexing only, okay? So I have stored the values. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to iterate this entire array and I'm going to retrieve all these values, okay? Yeah, we can do that. I'll be telling that Shravani, okay? Now for int I is equal to 0, now I value will be initially 0, okay? I is less than arr dot length. Here arr is the array name, dot length it will be giving the size of the array. Here it is 7, okay? So we have to check whether I is less than 7. Then if I is less than 7 we are going to print the array of that particular index. Okay, so I is 0, 0 is less than 7. So I'm going to print arr of 0. Arr of 0 is nothing but 1. That's why 1 is being printed here. Okay, next again I will be getting incremented. I will become 1. 1 is less than 7. So I'm going to print arr of 1. Arr of 1 is 2. So 2 is getting printed here. So this is the way in which an array will be getting executed, or we will be able to store the values in an array and we will be able to retrieve the elements of the array. Is this clear, guys? Yes, exception will be given by Java, but in C code will run if memory is available. Okay, wait. As Bishes asked, I'll be giving ARR of 7 as I have only 7 memory bits which is available to me here. Okay, 7 memory spaces, but I'm telling to assign ARR of 7 as 8. And I have not created a space for this particular element, but I'm trying to add it into the array. Let's check what happens. An exception is thrown. Array index out of bounds exception is being thrown. Okay. So this is what happens. Now are you clear? Next, uh, as Shravani asked, this is one way of declaring. Okay, this is one way of declaring a default length for an array. Okay, so this is one way of declaring and Java array. Another way is we can create, initialize, and declare in one line itself. Okay, just we can give one, two. This is another way of doing this. So here, what I'm going, uh, I'm declaring an array, okay, and I'm going to store 5 elements. Here I'm not going to specify anything like default length for an array and all. Just I'm going to give the elements of the array in terms of curly braces, and by with the help of for loop I'm just going to retrieve the elements. This is one way. Okay, we do have two methods for declaring an array, but the elements of the array can be traversed by using this for loop, or there is another for loop which is known as for each loop. So in for each loop, what we'll be doing is just the syntax will be for the data type of the elements which is being stored in array int. I am going to use an iterator I, the array name. I'm just going to print not arr of I, just I. Okay. This is known as for each loop. In for each loop, what we'll be doing is will not be like accessing it in terms of indexing and all. We'll be directly accessing the elements of the array. For example, for int I in array, first the I will be 1, next will be 2, next will be 3, 4, 5, which means we are directly going to access the elements of the array and we are going to print it. Ma'am, we didn't get our task to what we will get. I'm not sure about your tasks, Nikita. Then it gives array index. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is all about for each with the 2D arrays concept. So this is known as a 2D array. This is a 2D array. Guys, are you clear? Are you clear with the arrays concept? If not, I'll explain again also. Clear, ma'am. Okay. Yeah, okay. User input in array, sure. Okay. So next I was about to do that. Now I want to get the elements from the user. Okay, that time I cannot use this declaration statement. Okay, why? Because I don't know the elements of the array. Then how can I declare? How can I declare the values of the array? So what I have to do is I want to first specify the length of the 2D array. New int of 5. Okay. Now I want to run a for loop in order to get the user from the input. Sorry. I want to run a for loop in order to get the user input. Or let's say arr.length. C dot extend. Okay, so I'm running the loop from 0 to 5. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm assigning the array value with the user input. Okay, now let's see. And then by using for each loop, I'm going to print the elements of the array. Sorry, array of chicken. Yeah. Oh, I haven't created the scanner object, right? So I'm going to Okay, so this is how you take the input of a 2D array from the user. Okay, whenever you are taking the input from the user, first of all, you have to, declare the length, or else you can even get the length from the user also. I'll be showing that example also. Ma'am, if it is possible to run some Java codes in command, it will be easy to understand us how code compile and run. Usually, as we have already mentioned, size no. Can we write 5 instead of a dot length? Yeah, Varshika, you can write. But the thing is, in this case, the length is 5. But what if you don't know the size of the array, but you want to access the elements of the array? I mean, you don't know the size of a particular array, but you do want to assign values to that array and you want to retrieve the elements of the array. You don't know the size, but if you want to do, I think it will be more generic. But in terms of ARR dot length, if you give 5 also, it works. Bishes actually, I think it's very, it's not possible to write the code in a notepad because we don't have automatic indentation there and all. It consumes more time. And in order to use Java for competitive programming, I think you don't need to compile, run everything. But still, you are supposed to know how your Java code is being compiled and executed. Okay. But when you come to competitive programming part, you are just required to write the logic for a particular program. So guys, is this clear? And for example, say I'll be getting the length also from the user. VS Code. Array is an object. Array is not a class, or array is not the method. Array is an object which contains a collection of elements of similar data type. Hmm. Character input, it is possible. I'll be showing an example. Okay, so I'm getting we should make array of string. Okay, actually, what he has asked is, I mean, can I be more specific on a question? But I'm asking, what if the user wants to give character input? In the sense, do I want to create a character array? That's very simple. See, just in the place of int, you are going to replace it with character. New char of. You're going to create an array of characters. Okay. Next dot char at 0. Here, why we'll be using is usually se.next is only used in order to get a string as the output. Okay. Now, in that particular string, only in character, whenever we are giving character as the input, we'll be having only one character, right? See, character. This is a character, but this is a string. Okay. So, in order to get a character from the user, what I'll be doing is I'll be treating it as string. se.next dot caret 0. Obviously, we are going to have only a single character as in character input. Ma'am, it's like user will give a string input but wants it to be converted into a char array. Yeah, we can do that. I'll show you. Okay. But here now I'm creating a character array. Mm, here also the data type must be char. Yeah, I think yeah, it works. Bishesh, in order to crack the interviews, it's clear if you know how your Java code is getting compiled and executed theoretically. They won't be asking you to do it practically under. You must have an experience in that. Sorry. Oh, okay, okay. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay. Now, did you notice what was the error there? The error was I gave something like this, right? I use something like this. So sc dot next will take it as a string. So it is being treated as a string. And here what I'm doing, even strings are accessible only by using indexing. Okay. So here what happened was it is a string, right? So I have accessed only the first character, okay, of the string. So whenever I'm giving indexing to this, it becomes 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to access only the zeroth index. So that's why I got only the quotes as the answer. Is that fine? Ma'am, it's, oh yeah. So next what we'll be doing is we'll be getting a string from the user and then we'll be converting into one character array. Okay. We do have a default function for that two char array. We don't want all these things, right? Guys, are you people clear with this? Predefined classes in the sense you don't need to define any classes. It is already defined by Java itself. You can just make use of all those classes. Huh. Vishesh, thank you for helping me out. Guys, are you clear with this? So that we can move to the question which was asked by King Gaming. Like, he wants to get the string as an output and he want to convert it to one character array. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So I'm going to get a string input from the user. String input. Now the user types a string. So I want to store it in string variable. String str is equal to sc dot next. Okay. Now I want to convert it into one character array. So I'm going to create an array is equal to str dot two char array is the default function. String is also an object. String is an object. He only asked, right? We'll give. Okay. So here we are getting the input as string. Okay, that's why we are using string str is equal to sc dot next. Now what we are doing is we are going to convert it to a character array. Okay, so here arr is the array of characters. We are having a default function in order to do this task, and now I'm going to print the array elements. Now is that fine? If want to give while paragraph or statement in array, how can we? If want to give while paragraph or statement in array, could you be more specific? I mean, you're going to write a statement and then is it something like you're going to write a particular statement and you want to break the words in an array, Vishesh? Actually, after this arrays only, we'll be looking into string. Okay. Now, is it fine, Shravani? Okay. Now, next we'll be doing a coding question. Okay. It's a very simple question only, guys. Okay. So the thing is, we want to get the user input of all the array elements. Okay. My name is Bishesh, whole statement in index 0. No, you cannot get that. You can store in a string array. Okay. Um, Wait, you want something like this? I mean, my name is Bishesh. Sorry, I'm a string now. You want something like this? Yeah, yeah. We can give st is equal to st dot next line also. Just give next line. Just in the place of next line. Same thing works. Both does have a difference. Once again, I'll check. Yeah, both has a difference. Okay. Whenever you're giving next line, I mean, you spot out the difference and let me know. Okay. I know the difference, by the way. So I'm giving next line here. Okay. Now here I'm giving the string input string, I mean king space gaming. Okay. Even after the space, gaming is being executed and it is being stored in an array. Okay. Whenever I'm giving next, see what happens. Yeah, king gaming can accept space or I mean sorry. Next line can accept space also. Okay, this is the difference. Whenever you're giving next, whenever the pointer is encountering a space, it breaks. Okay, but whenever you're giving a next line, it takes all the string characters which is even present after the space. And what happens to the gap if the user gives a gap between the words? In the sense, and what happens to the gap if the user gives a gap between the words? In the sense, if it's something like this, I am from Nepal. Here, everything is being treated as a individual element only. As we are using character array, the string will be broken into a sequence of characters. I mean, a collection of characters. Okay, and Bishesh, we can have an array like this. Okay, okay, okay. So you can even have an array like this. For this, what you have to do is this entire string. My name is Bishesh. It cannot be stored as a character. Okay, for sure it is to be stored as a string only because only if you are storing a or b or a single character we will be using a character array. Here what we have to do is we are going to use a string array and we can store all these things here. Okay, is that fine, Vishesh? So now I want to find the maximum element. String array can store it, yeah. Maximum element in an array. Okay, my array is somewhere something like, even you can give like this. My array is like this. Okay, so now I want to find the maximum element in the array. for which what I'll be doing is initially I'll set my maximum as the first element. So max will be 3 initially. Okay. Now with these three, I'll be comparing other elements, whether it is greater than or equal to this. Is less than. I'll be checking. Is there any element that is greater than the max? Okay. Now my max is 3. So I'll be checking from the index 1. Okay. I'll be checking from 5. If 5 is greater than 3, I'll be assigning max as 5. Okay. If it's greater than max, I'll assign max as, and this is the thing which happens, and finally I'm going to print the maximum element in an array. System dot. Oh, no. Yeah, correct. If max is less than error of 5, max is equal to error of. Yeah, you are correct, Bishish. So this is how we are going to find the maximum element. Is this clear for you guys, or do I want to show the execution of how this actually works? Only Bishish and King Gaming is active, I guess. What about others? Will people be able to follow, or do I need to explain it again? If you're okay with this, I'll go to the next concept. Otherwise, I'll be showing you the execution of how this works. Clear? Okay. Okay, great. So next we'll be going to the 3D matrix. Okay. Someone asked for 2D array. Explain it, ma'am. This is the 2D array. Oh. I mean, once again. Sorry, guys. This is 1D array. 2D array. Wait, I'll be explaining 2D array. This is 1D array. Sorry. This is 1D array. I'll be explaining the 2D array. Sure. So, whenever. mm, what's it? Grabbed array? I don't know anything about grabbed array. Okay. So, for Devi. Okay. So, first I'm giving next. Okay. Jagged array. Okay. I'm giving an input as. Okay, next and takes the other thing also. Wait. I'm giving se dot next. Now I'm going to print. Only I will be getting printed because it has encountered the space here. So the pointer will take only the first words which have no space. Okay. Only am will be printed. Whereas in next line, It takes the entire statement as a string, and I mean everything will be printed. Okay. Jagged array. Okay. uh, Difference between 2D rectangle array and jagged array. Jagged array means in jagged array we'll be having I mean the columns will be in different in size. For example, this is something known as jagged array. The array will be like this. Okay. So the number of columns will be differing in size. Okay. Here for the first row, the number of columns is 3. Okay. Here for the next, it is 4. Here for the next is 4. And for the last row, it is only 2 columns are present. So this is something known as jagged array. Okay. The in the jagged array, the number of will have different row and columns. Yeah. You could say different row and columns, or which means that it is not something like a square matrix. Okay. Like 2 cross 2 or 3 cross 3. In each row there could be and rectangular array have same number of rows and columns. Yeah. So next we'll be seeing the 2D array. Okay. In order to specify the 2D array, what we have to do is I'm going to give integer 2D array, new int of. Okay. Here, this specifies the number of rows and this specifies the number of columns. So in my array, I am going to have 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay. And for declaring the values, I am going to give is equal to 1 or 10. This is something the matrix which you have learned, I guess, in your max. Now, in order to, I have assigned the values for the 2D array. Now, in order to access the elements of the 2D array, what I have to do is I have to give a nested loop. I mean, this outer for loop is for the number of rows, and the inner for loop is for the number of columns. So I want to print the elements of the 2D matrix in a matrix manner. So it is being printed. Okay. Ma'am, what about 2D array? I'm teaching right now. Ma'am, give us some example of pattern printing also. Sure, I'll be giving you. I mean, I'll be sending you, a link from where you can practice all those pattern printing. Okay, so I'll be showing you how the 2D array will be getting stored. Guys, do you people know about the 2D array, or should I explain it? So I'm going to create an array of row 2 and row column. There is nothing 2D array. I mean, there is nothing 3D array. I mean, I have mispronounced it wrongly. The initially we have done one thing, that is called as 1D array, and this is 2D array. There is nothing called 3D array. So sorry guys. Okay, so I'm going to give. Let's suppose take this is the 2D array. Okay. On next class, you please explain that uppercase to lowercase or vice versa in array. We'll do it now. Okay. Some knows, but it could be better who don't know. Okay. Sure. I'll put. Okay. So ARR of 0, comma 0. 0, comma 0 is here. So I'm going to assign it as 10. And I'm going to assign 0, 1 as 20. And I'm going to assign 1, comma 0 as 30. And 1, comma 1 as 40. Okay. In order to iterate this entire matrix, let's take I and J. Okay. Now my I will be starting from 0. Okay, my I will be 0. My J will also be 0. Now ARR of 0, comma 0 is 10. So 10 is being printed here. Okay. Then I'm giving a space. Okay. Then now J I will be 0, but J becomes 1. And 1 is less than 2. So obviously the condition is true. So 0, comma 1 will be 20. So 20 is getting printed here. Now the I will be J will be incremented. 2 is not less than 2. So the condition breaks and a println statement will be getting executed. Again, now I will be incremented and now I becomes 1 and J becomes 0. So I comma 0, 30 will be getting printed here. And similarly it works. Okay. So this is all about how to, use a 2D array. Here also we are not using scanner. So are you people okay with this? I mean, I'll check whether it works. Yeah, it's getting work. So in order to, give the default values of a 2D matrix, we'll be just giving it like this. So this corresponds to the first row, 1 comma 2, it corresponds to the first row, and 3 comma 4, it corresponds to the next row. So is this fine, guys? I haven't used 3D array. Seriously, I haven't used. Let me check, wait. Mm. So I haven't used this type of 3D arrays. We don't have 3D arrays actually. Using 3 square brackets is 3D array, ma'am. No. Is that true? I don't think so because I have used, I misspelled it as a 3D array. Actually, the array which we have like this, it is a, 2D, it's a 1D array and this is a 2D array, two-dimension array. Wait, let me, yeah, we don't use much 3D array, but seriously, I haven't used 3D array and I don't know about 3D array. Could you people tell me or could you people teach me? That's fine. Now what I want to do. Multidimensional array, yeah. This is multidimensional array. Okay. We most use 2D and 1D array. Yeah. Okay. So are you people clear with 1D and 2D arrays? Now quickly we want to go to string concepts. So next, while moving into Java strings, already we have seen more about Java strings. Okay, so in Java strings, what we are going to do is string is also an object. Okay, and object that represents a sequence of characters, we do have two methods in order to create a string object. We can either use string detail as such, and we can even use new keyword. But here also there will be quite difference between using string literal directly and with the help of new keyword. Okay. Mm, string s1 equal to something, or string a is equal to, okay. So this is how we'll be declaring a string. So string a is equal to welcome. Okay. Now string will also be stored as an object only, and it is a sequence of characters. Okay. So here let's say a is welcome. In the memory it will be stored as do, bear with my handwriting because I couldn't write with the help of mousepad. So it will be stored as like arrays. In strings also we'll be accessing the elements of the string or the characters of the string by terms of indexing only. Okay. So here w will be having the index as 0, 1 will be having the index as, e will be having the index as 1. We can write text also in paint. Yeah, we do have, but that's fine. Okay. So in order to print a particular character, okay, in order to print a particular character we will be using the default method in Java, char at, which specifies character at. I want to check what is the character of the array a, of the string a. I want to check what is the character that is present at index 3. Okay, just I'll be giving a dot char at the index 3. Yeah, the last index will be storing. It's not null. This is the end of file character, end of string character. In string we do have this. Okay. Now a dot caret 3 will be giving the answer c, because at the index 3 we have c as the character. Okay. Yeah, Vashiko, you're right. The last index will be storing the end of line operator. Next, one more thing. Whenever we are giving string a as welcome, string b as welcome, what in which way the string will be stored and the string literal will be? We have created two variables a and b. Okay, both the a and b will be pointing to the same address. Welcome will be stored as an object here, and it will be pointing to both a and b, and the strings will usually be stored in an area called a string constant pool, and which is stored in a heap memory. Okay. uh, and we do have an function dot equals. I want to check if a and b is equal. If a dot a dot equals b, because a and b, it both refers to the same memory address welcome, so that's why we'll be getting the answer as true, which means here a and b are equal. Okay, now let's say I'm going to create a new string with the help of new keyword. String c is equal to new string of the same welcome. Okay, so can you people say whether A is equal to B? A is equal to B is true. Whether A is equal to C or B is equal to C, can you people answer in the chat section? What do you think? No. Good. A is equal to B and B is equal to A, okay, because both the letters A and B will be pointing to the same memory address of the welcome object. Hmm, but whenever we are creating a string with the help of new keyword, it creates an independent separate object, okay. So if we are giving A dot equals C, the answer will be false. Yeah, A dot equals C, it is giving true. Usually when we are giving a new keyword, the object is being stored independently only. A dot equals C, it's giving true. Let me check. It gives true. Yeah, Bishesh. As per my knowledge, okay, let me check and let you know. I'll check it and let you know tomorrow. Okay, I'll check it because A and B only refers to the same object as welcome, whereas C it creates a new object because as we are giving a new keyword here, it creates new object here. But I'll let you know, people. Okay, next. So do you people want to work? But when we compare A is equal to, then not equals. Must be it is checking the content data. Yeah, it could be the reason, but usually how it checks will be it checks only the memory address of that particular you know it checks the memory address of that particular variable. Now it's giving false. Now it's giving false. A double equal to C is yielding false. A is equal to B is yielding not true. Okay, so oh, there is a catch here. If A is equal to C, I mean, okay, so I think yeah, it is student string constant. Okay, okay. When we are giving A double equal to C, it is checking the memory address of the uh, variables, I guess. And when we are giving dot equals operators, it is just checking the content of both the variables. But anyway, I'll understood. Yeah, but anyway, I'll check this and I'll let you know tomorrow because uh, but you have to know that whenever we are creating a string using string literal and a string using new keyword, both of them will not be referenced to a same memory. Okay, guys, did you understand about strings? Now we'll be doing some coding part on reversing a string by using while loop. And do you people know two pointers concept? Does anybody know two pointers concept here? Guys, did you understand? Equals ignore case. No, that also it's yielding true. Equal, yeah, equal to operator, it is just checking the memory reference. Okay, but whenever, sorry, this double equal to, it is checking the memory reference of the variables a and c, whether it is pointing to the same memory or not. Whereas equals or equals ignore case, it is just checking the content of variables a and c. Anyways, I'll let you know, guys. Okay. Now next thing is reversing a string, right? So I just want you people to answer whether you know the two pointers approach or two pointers concept. Two pointers concept is, yeah, dot equals checks the content, and double equal to operator, it is checking the memory address for checking data, but don't care about the uppercase and lowercase. Yeah, just when you're giving equals operator, it will be case sensitive. Okay, but when you're giving equals, ignore case. Guys, can we go to reversing a string concept? Yeah. And do you people know two pointer approach? Two pointer approach is very useful when you're coming to competitive programming. If you know, just give a thumbs up, or if you can say yes, I know. Okay, I'm going to get a string from the user. Now, you people don't know two pointers concept. Okay. Okay. So, first I'll be explaining you what we'll be doing. Hmm. Oh. So, uh, so what I'll be doing is I'll be in 2 point, guys, that's fine, that's fine. Ignores and ignore, equals ignore case, that's fine. But now you people listen to this two pointers concept, because it will be very useful for you when you're uh, doing competitive programming. Okay, so in two pointers concept, it is nothing, we are going to maintain two pointers, let's say I and j. Okay, first what I'll be doing is I'll be having my I pointer here and my j pointer here at the end of the string. Okay, now what I'll be doing, I'll be in a while loop, I'll be swapping this both. Okay, because welcome welcome to Java must be written as something like, it must be reversed, right? A B A J to welcome EMOCLEW. Okay, so now I'll be swapping I and J. Now here A will come and here W will come. Okay. Once this is done, what I'll be doing is I'll be incrementing I. So I goes here and I'll be decrementing J. J comes here. Now I'll be swapping this both. Swapping in the sense just like swapping of A and B means A becomes B and B becomes A. That's it. Okay. Then I'll be again incrementing I and I'll be decrementing J and swap. And my I'll be doing this until my condition is true. I, while I is less than j, until this condition is true, I'll be running my while loop, because see, now I comes here, j comes here, I j, then I comes here, j comes here. Space is also treated as a I mean character. Okay, then I comes here, j here, I here, J here, I here, J here. So when I is greater than J, I think my string will be reversed. So do you people understand? This is the two pointer concept. It is nothing but we are going to maintain two pointers. Okay, I pointer will be pointing to the first letter of the string, whereas J pointer will be pointing to the last letter of the string. Now I'll be swapping I and J. Okay, next what I'll be doing is I'll be incrementing I and I'll be decrementing J, and again I'll be swapping the both. The swapping takes place until my I is less than J. Guys, are you getting this point? The two pointers concept? Guys, are you people clear with the two pointers concept? So yeah, okay. So let me code it. So first I'll be int I is equal to 0 and J will, yeah. First of all, you people need to know how to print the length of a string. Okay. Length of a string you have to print as, you do have a default oh, method str dot length. You have to include parentheses here. Okay. So if I'm giving, see, okay, so welcome. The length of this string is 7. Okay, this is how you will be printing the length of the string. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize a pointer I is equal to 0, int j is equal to str dot length minus 1. Okay, while I is less than j, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the character. Char temp is equal to s dot caret I. S dot caret I is equal to S dot caret J. Do you people know how to swap two elements? Hmm. Println. It's not. Yes, it's str. Okay. Mm. I think str. Guys, could anybody let me know the syntax of replace temporary variables? Yeah, replace j comma. Wait, I'll try. I'm not getting it. Mm. Okay, strings are immutable, right? Strings cannot be modified. So I'll be converting it into character array. To char array. ARR of I. Let me check. While I is less. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, yeah. So strings are generally immutable, which means the characters of the string cannot be modified. Okay, but it can be replaced. So that's why I forgotten the syntax of replace. So that's why I asked you people. So the strings are generally immutable in Java, which means you cannot modify a string which is being defined. So what I'm going to do is I have initialized I as 0, okay, and j as the last element. Okay, so here as the string here is welcome 7, now my j value will be 6. So I have created an character array, okay, by using the two character array method. Now I'm going to run a while loop, okay, while I is less than j, okay. In temp is a temporary character variable where I am going to store the character at the ith position. Now, as list are modifiable, we can modify the elements in a list. So I'm going to assign the element which is present at ith index to the element which is present in the jth index, okay. And as I have stored the element at the ith index in temp, I'll be assigning it to the index j. And this thing is very important, okay. You have to increment the I value and you have to decrement the j value. And this is also a default function in Java in order to convert a character array into a string. Is it fine, guys? This is how we'll be reversing, we'll be reversing a string in Java by using two pointers approach. Guys, is it fine? Are people able to follow? Guys, if you're not able to follow, also I'll repeat it again. Come on. Okay, Priyanka has understood. What about others? So usually we'll be using two pointers approach. This is the two pointers approach. It is nothing but it is not the pointer which I'm referring to in C or C++. It is something I'm going to maintain two variables I and j. I will be traversing from the first part and j will be traversing from the next part until both are not crossed. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swap both the elements in order to get the reversal of a string. Okay. Guys, what about others? Are you able to follow me? So this is how we'll be reversing a string. Sure. Okay. Okay, Kushi. As we are writing next line here, even it takes the entire line. Okay. Okay. String dot value of array. It is a default function in order to convert a character array to string. Okay. So here the array is a character array. Okay. I'm going to convert directly that character array into string. So what it does is, if the array is something like this, the array has sequence of characters in it, a b c, okay. When I use this function, it will be converted as ABC. That's it. Okay. Did you understand, Lokesh? Lokesh, are you clear with this? See, you can use the default functions which is available in Java, but the thing is you have to remember the syntax because there are lot many built-in methods or functions which is available in Java. You have to remember. That's it. Okay. Yeah, great. Next, we'll be doing something. We are going to like I'll be giving a string. We want to print the number of words in it. So here number of words is 3. Okay. So we'll do that. There also we are having a default function split. That's it. Okay, so enter a string. Mm, okay. What can be written instead of string dot value of error? Instead of string dot value, you can do one thing. Okay, I'll show you. Just you declare. I mean like this. Just you declare uh, a string like this. Okay, an empty string. By iterating the character array, you can add that character into this string. Is that fine? I'll show you. So I'm getting string from the user. Now I'm going to store it in a string array s dot str dot split system dot char can be converted into character array. Oh, okay, so so now I'm going to print the number of words in a particular string. What I'm doing is I'm using a default function called split. Okay, so I'm creating an str array, which is array of strings. Okay, in that I'm going to store the words which are being written here. So in the array I'll be having, in the string array now I'll be having, the string will be like, yeah, str array is something, the name of the array which I'm giving. So I'll be having welcome to, no, it is not, it's not str array dot split, it is str dot split. Okay, we are just going to split welcome to Java only is the string which the user has given, right? We are going to split here in terms of what we are going to split. We have to specify. Okay, now we are going to split it in terms of spaces. So now this becomes an array of strings. It becomes like this. Okay, and even for example, let's take. I'll be giving you an example. Okay, I want to split it by using this a comma. Okay, I'm giving welcome to Java, comma something. Okay, but when I'll try to print the elements in str array. Just inside the split, you'll be giving delimiter on which you are going to split the string. Mm, okay, is it fine, guys? Guys, is this fine? Can we go to the next concept of exception handling? Or if you people do have any doubts in the strings, you can ask. Can you explain? Sure. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to get the input from the user. Okay. So in this line, I'm getting the input from the user. Now, in terms of split function, by using the split function, I'm going to split the string, and I'm going to store each words in another string array. Okay. Now here I'm going to split the string. Here I have stored the user input as str, right? So str dot split, on which delimiter you are going to split the string, whether you are going to split on the basis of a space, or you're going to split the string on the basis of comma, something like that. Okay. And I'm going to store it in an array of strings. Okay. Now I'm going to iterate the string array, and I'm just going to print it. Okay. So now if it's something like, so here I have given the delimiter as space. So wherever space is there, no, I'm going to break it, I'm going to split it. So here now the array will be I comma love comma programming. Okay, so the number of words here in this particular statement is 3. But what I can even change the delimiter, I want to give comma. So let's see now what happens. So I'm giving, instead of spaces, I am giving comma. Now also I'm splitting the string in terms of comma. Okay, here it is the delimiter. In order to find the number of words in a particular statement, you can use the default split function. Is that fine, Spidey? And people, do you understand this? Please reply. Yaar, how's the Josh? Yeah. What about others? Others, are you able to follow me, or am I going fast? Yeah. Okay. Great. So next we'll be seeing, you try out more problems. Okay, you try out more problems when it comes to array and strings, because repeat once. Okay, this part I have to repeat, Vishesh. See guys, it is very simple. Okay, I'm going to give a statement. Okay, it's hi ma'am. Oh Josh. Okay, so I'm going to give a sentence as the input, and I want to find how many words are being present. Okay, whenever I'm giving something like if my string is this, okay, each word in a string will be, or each word in a sentence will be separated by a space. Okay, and delimiters are nothing but the special type of operators which we are using, or delimiters are nothing but on which basis we are going to split the string. So here I'm going to, from line number 13. Okay, yeah, sure, we can check duplicate values in an array. Okay, so here what happens is I'm going to split the string in terms of the delimiter space. Okay, so now my pointer is red, so I is being read. Okay, and a space is being seen, right? So what it does is, in the string array I comma will be created. I mean, in the string array I will be stored as the first element. Okay, next my pointer will be noticing allow, and whenever it is getting a space again, the next this complete letter is stored in a string array, here in str underscore array. Next, whenever I'm encountering another word, it is being stored here. So it is nothing but I'm going to split this string in terms of space. So where and all space comes, it gets splitted. So Bishesh, it's fine. Are you able to understand? And just I'm going to split the words in terms of the delimiter space, and I'm going to print it. That's it. Because we know in a sentence, the words are splitted using a blank. I mean, a space, right? Bishesh, is that fine? Are you able to understand from line number 13? I'm just using a split function, a predefined function. Str.split. That's what I'm going to split the str. This is the my str object, right? I I mean, this is my str. So I love coding is my string, which is I'm getting from the user. I'm going to split it with the help of this delimiter. Okay. So just I'm going to split this string. So where and all I'm noticing I mean, see, I love I'm noticing here a space. So I and love will be splitted as different elements and it will be stored in this array. Okay. I think it'll be fine because just split is a function. It is just used to split the sentence or the statement in terms of some delimiter here. Okay, and this is the program in order to count the number of words in a sentence. So without further delay, I'll be going to the exception handling part. Yesterday, I don't know, I don't remember the name. Some of you have said that we'll be using, yeah, yeah. Split is we are splitting the statement by searching space. Where and all we are encountering the space. No, the both the words will be getting splitted. Okay. So in exception handling, we'll be having blocks right. Try, catch, and finally. Okay. Uh, Exception is nothing but why we are going for exception. Any idea? Do you people have? Given in our method str.split. Yeah. So whenever we are encountering an error, if I want my program to run completely without prompting that error, what to do to split each character of a string? Mm, each character of a string, I just want to put two char array function. If I'm putting two character array function means the string will be splitted, right? If we give something like else str.split comma, it will split it by searching comma. Yeah, obviously. I've shown you an example, right? It's getting splitted. Okay, cool. Yeah. So in the exception handling, if any part of my code is producing error, but still I want my function to be executed without prompting that error, I'll be going to the exception handling part. Okay. So we'll be usually having the try catch finally block. Okay, or the try catch block. If we notice some code will be producing error or it could be producing some error, it might have some I mean ambiguity in that, we'll be putting that code in the try block. Okay, and whatever error it is being prompted, that error will be captured in the, or it will be catched in the catch part. Okay, and final block is something like the default block which we have been using in the switch case. Okay, we learned a class and object. So you learn class and object. You're saying that, or do you asking when we'll be learning classes and object? Okay. So exception handling, it is done by using try, catch, and finally block. In try block, we'll just be the block will be containing the code which will be producing some kind of error. And in the catch block, we are going to catch that exception, or we are going to catch the error, and we are going to display what is the exception there. And in the finally block, it is something like the default case. Okay, is when we learn it. Next we'll be having, oops, So for example, something whenever I'm dividing a number by 0, it is an arithmetic error, right? So it is an arithmetic exception and I'm going to catch it. So in the try block I'm giving the syntax of try catch finally is try catch finally. Okay, in the try block, let's suppose I'm going to say int something, result is equal to 100 by 0. Okay, and I'm going to print it. Result, obviously 100 by 0 it produces the error. Okay, so what I'm going to do is in catch block I have to catch the exception e, and I'm going to print the exception. Okay, number format exception, yeah. And we do have exceptions like number format exceptions, we do have array index out of bound exception, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception. I'll be showing you. System dot, okay, yeah. So it is an arithmetic expression, I mean exception, which is divide by 0 error. Okay, 100 by 0 it is throwing an error. I have cached that error in the exception block, in the catch block, and the exception is being printed. Okay, and the finally block is getting executed. So the final block will be executed in a default manner. Okay, IO exception, yeah, we do have input output exception. So next I'm going to show you a demo of array index out of bounds exception. Now I'm going to print file. I do have three elements in my array, which means the indexes will be 0, 1, and 2. But I'm going to access the element and the fifth index. I don't have any element at the fifth index. So okay, so array index out of bounds exception. Okay, and a null pointer exception. I'm not even creating a string, but I'm trying to print it. I think null will be printed. Null will be printed. I'm trying to print the length. It's length. Yeah, null pointer exception is being thrown. Similarly, we do have number format exceptions and naive exceptions. And one thing which you want to keep in mind whenever you are trying to do exception handling is you can have multiple catch blocks. Okay. For example, let's take we can even specify the exceptions here. Arithmetic exception E, and I can have multiple catch blocks. Null pointer exception. So, and a generic exception. Whenever we are having multiple catch blocks, okay, see here it is a null pointer exception. Okay, so the control comes to the catch block. It checks whether do we have is it an arithmetic exception? No, it is not an arithmetic exception. So it is coming to the next catch block. Multi try block, yeah, you can have. Okay, so we are going to find whether it's a null pointer exception. Yes, so it will be getting printed. In the multiple catch blocks, the most specific exception type for that particular code in the try block will be getting executed. Okay, null pointer exception is being thrown. Okay, for example, yeah, this is all about the try catch finally block, and finally block will be executed. Okay, we can have multiple try block also. So this is all about exception, and guys, in catch block we can use e.print stack trace method for now. Exception is on which line? Yeah, we can use e dot stack trace. Okay. Oh, I think it's a method. E dot print stack trace. Okay, let me do E dot print. Actually, the thing is, like in Java, we have to remember all the syntaxes. Okay, so you're getting the output. I have forgotten about print stack trace. Thank you for remembering me, Bishesh. Because like there are many syntaxes here in Java. So whenever you are, like usually in when we are coming to CP, competitive programming and all, we won't be using try catch block and all. I think it don't give in this. Okay. So are you people clear with the concept? Yeah, of course. And do you know something like I don't use online computer at all. So that's why I'm getting confusions whenever I'm using this in online compilers. So guys, are you clear with this? Can we move to the oops concept? Yeah, having next 15 minutes. What about the throw and throws block? We do have throw and throws block in Java. It is actually it is also used in order to like throw the exception only. Just like whenever it comes to exception, just learn about the general syntax of how to handle an error. That's fine. Okay. I think yeah. And also whenever you're using throw and throws, you can even create your own user defined exceptions. Okay, so that's the difference, guys. We can see here I do have Eclipse, but the thing is if you people have Eclipse in like in your system, it will be easy for you to follow, right? We do want to arrange another session in order to make you people to download the Eclipse IDE. If you people can say like in tomorrow's session you all will be ready with the Eclipse IDE, we'll go with it. I do have. Can you show an example how to download? I'll be send just give in Eclipse download for Windows and just download from here. And whenever you're downloading, you have to give it as a. It will be more versions will be there. Just give it as like for Java Enterprise, some options will be there like that. Shakti Rupa, can you show an example? I mean, to be very frank, like now I don't remember the syntax of throw and throws. Because in throw, no, we'll be creating something like I mean, in catch block, we'll be giving throw the exception name, and also we can create some user defined exceptions also. And for me, throw and throws will be slightly confusing. If you people do want, no worries. Like I'll be learning it. I'm not learning it. I'll be revising it today, and I'll let you know tomorrow because I don't remember the syntax of throw and throws. Wishes, if you want Eclipse for J also, it's fine. It's up to you. I'll tell you tomorrow, Shakti Rupa, because like uh, that is quite easy only throw and throws, but I don't remember the syntax. To be very frank, we'll be putting throws new exception, and in that we'll be giving the exception name, something like that. I'll let you know tomorrow. Okay, so So, guys, did you understand till whatever I have taught today? Now we'll be going to the most important backbone of Java, which is OOPS. And I remember somebody has asked a question like whether Java is a procedure oriented language or not. Java is not a procedure oriented language, it is an object oriented language, okay? And procedure oriented me, yes, ma'am, there are so many method classes which we can forget, yeah. And like I won't say that is the I won't say that is the disadvantage of Java, but still, like whenever you are having many hands-on sessions, like whenever uh, you are coding more using Java, you will be remembering all the stuffs. But I have learned Java many years back, and that's why usually I don't use try catch exception handling and all whenever we are using to code and lead code, right? We'll be focused only on the logic part and to solve that particular problem. So that's why I don't remember throws and all. Mm, there are so, but if an interviewer is asking you about throws, you should be in a state to answer it even in a theoretical manner. Okay. Um, C is procedural programming language. Yeah, and also we are having Fortran or Pascal. It is those languages are procedure oriented programming languages, which means that the procedural language will be more, it will be focused on writing the functions, methods, and it will be writing more only on procedures. And also the main difference between procedural programming language and OOPS languages, there won't be any kind of data abstraction which is available or data binding which is available in procedural language, whereas we do have that in OOPS. Okay, how can be Java developers? No worry, it's very simple. Just code using Java. You are a Java developer. That's it. Okay. Yeah, you can be Java developer. And now itself, you all are Java developers only. We are coding using Java only, right? Yeah. And there is a difference between object oriented programming language and object based programming language. Okay. So I'll be just giving an introduction to what is object oriented programming language and what is object based programming language. Okay. Um, Whenever you come to see about OOPS, object oriented programming language, it is nothing but, as I've already said in my first session, uh, OOPS means we are going to see everything as classes and objects. Okay, you can I mean, you can have it something like object means the real entities. Okay, and classes means the classes are the blueprint of which tells about the properties or attributes of a particular object. Okay, in a really it is harsh to clear the interview for Java developers. Okay, I mean, whenever you're sitting for interviews that is based on Java developers, no, the interviews will trick you with the questions like multi-threading, because in multi-threading we do have another. It's like it's another a complex topic which we have to remember all the methods there, notify or sleep or something like that, right? Okay, so when coming back to our topic, OOPS is nothing but, okay, we are going to see all the things as a real entities and the class. Okay, um, class is nothing but it is the blueprint of an object. For example, I'll be saying a pen as an object. Okay, in my class I'll be defining the properties or attributes like I mean, my pen is writing smoother, like, or my pen is blue in color, my pen is black in color. Okay, so whenever you're creating an object, it is something related to an entity. In a class, you will be giving the properties and attributes of how that object really looks. Okay, this is all about OOPS concept. Okay, I think today we won't be having time in order to code. So tomorrow I'll be telling you the coding part for this, and we'll also be seeing the method overloading and method overriding concept. Now I'll be giving you the explanations of the important key terminologies which you should know when it comes to OOPS. Okay, class name starts with capital letters. It is up to you, but whenever you are writing, I mean, whenever you are starting your class name with capital letter, it attracts the interviewer, or it will be in a good format. Usually class names must be starting with a capital letter. Even if you start with a smaller case, it won't do anything, because we do have some protocols of how to write a clean and a neat code, right? Okay, so the main difference between object oriented programming language and object based programming language is we do have a concept called as interface in OOPS. Company standard. Yeah. Okay, so we do have concept called not interface, inheritance in OOPS, but we don't have the concept of inheritance in. I mean, I think it's interface. It's interface. So we don't have the concept of interface in object based programming language. Object based programming languages include JavaScript. Okay, now whenever you are taking OOPS concepts, no, there are four key terms which you have to know. Inheritance. Okay, and we do have many different types of inheritance. Then you must be aware of polymorphism. We do have polymorphism like runtime polymorphism and compile time polymorphism, and we do have something called as abstraction. Okay, abstraction means you're going to I mean um, hide how that particular process is getting executed. For example, um, let's take whenever we want to call our friend. Okay, we just what we'll be going and doing, we'll be just opening the phone, we'll be dialing his number, and we'll be communicating with him, right? We won't be knowing about the internal process which is happening. So that is something called as abstraction. And data binding. Data binding is nothing but you're going to you're going to make together the data as well as the methods that is associated with it. You're hiding the implementation details, of course. Yeah. Okay, so these are all the important concepts which you want to know when you say oops. And oops is a very very important concept in which the interviewer can trick you. Okay, first of all, inheritance. Inheritance means you're having two classes. Okay, you're writing a class which is something called as a base class. Okay, in another class, if you want to derive the properties or to derive the attributes of the previous class, you will use inheritance. Okay, for example, I'm not going to code, I'm just going to explain the concepts. Okay, um so let's say I'm going to have a class student. Okay, it's a generic class. If I want to use the attributes and the inheritance means inherit the features from, yeah, obviously one class to another class. Okay, I'm having a class student. I do have the instance variables which is specified and the methods that are being used in this student class. If I want to use the features available in the student class in the hello world class, I just want to implement the student class into the hello world class. So this class is known as the base class or the parent class, and this is known as the child class. The thing is, the child class is going to inherit the parent class. The child class is going to inherit or make use of the instance variables and the methods that is being specified in the base class. Okay, so this is all about, yeah, we do use extends keyword. Yeah. What is a class? Class is nothing but I have said, right, yeah, whenever you're creating an object, it is something like real world entity. Okay, for example, let's take a car is an object. Okay, but in class we'll be specifying the attributes of the car. Like the car is blue in color, or the brand of the car is Audi, or something related to the car, the mileage. Like class is a collection of objects here. Okay, so the properties and attributes will be specified in the class. It is the blueprint of a particular object. Okay, so this is in class and this is inheritance, and we do have many different types of inheritance in Java. Single inheritance, okay, multiple inheritance, and hybrid inheritance, and we'll be seeing all those things tomorrow. And when coming to polymorphism is nothing but uh, polymorphism is something like a variable can act as two different ways in two different situations. Okay, That is something called as polymorphism. Poly means multiple. Okay, morphism means right? A particular method or a particular variable can act as can do two different tasks at two different situations. Polymorphism. So we do have runtime and compile time polymorphism, and I assure you that in every interview they'll be asking about method overloading and method overriding. Overloading, yeah, method overloading and method overriding. Okay, so these overriding and overloading concepts, it contributes to the polymorphism concept. Okay, next, when we are coming to see about abstraction, as I have already said, we'll be using abstract classes and we'll be using the keyword static there. Okay, whenever we want to implement the abstraction means, and the thing is that only the key functionality will be known to the user, whereas the implementation part, or how actually the process is done, or how actually the method is being carried out, is hidden. That is what is known as abstraction. And again, whenever you're coming to see about data binding, you're going to bind the data as well as the methods, attributes associated with it into a single entity. Okay, this is data binding. So these are all the important concepts when you come to see about the OOPS. So I have just given an introduction to OOPS today. Tomorrow we'll be coding, the classes and objects. We'll be creating multiple classes. I mean, we'll be creating multiple classes and we'll be creating multiple objects for a particular class. We'll also be seeing about constructors and constructors overloading. I mean, Shakti Rupa, I'll let the team to to upload the video. Okay. Um, so we do have something like constructors and constructor overloading. We'll be seeing tomorrow, and we'll be seeing method overloading and method overriding. Overriding, yeah. Which I mean, which is very helpful in order to perform polymorphism, and we'll be seeing more on. So I will. I mean, don't worry, I'll be giving a short introduction, or I'll be giving a short note on how collection works, and people trust me. Like, you should also know collections in Java. Collections, multi-threading, oops, polymorphism, inheritance, these are all the default interview questions which is being put forward whenever you're going to any interview. It is not something like Java developer. It is something people will ask even if you are applying for a software engineer role. Okay, and if you are choosing Java as your coding language. So, and also learn more about multi-threading. Collections, I'll be telling about collections. Okay, don't worry. So this is all about for today's session. So if you people do have any doubts, you can put in the chat section, or how was the class today? Did you people understand whatever I said, or do you have any doubts? We'll wrap the session soon. Okay, so did you understood everything? Clear? Okay. Amazing class. Shakti, by the way, tomorrow I'll tell you about the throw and throws. Okay. Today class was outstanding because you were very talkative, right? You were very interactive, and thank you, Bishesh, because in in some places you have helped me out with the syntaxes, and also we are clear about all the things. Yeah, you have helped me with the syntaxes, and you also cleared your peers' doubt, your friends' doubt. Thank you for that. Yeah. So you people are not having any doubts. So okay, we'll wrap this session. Because you're familiar to Java, okay. Great. So you know advanced Java also? Vishesh? Okay guys, so that's it for today, and tomorrow we'll be learning more about the OOPS concept. Thank you.